Tonight, legendary golfer Phil Mickelson banned from his longtime club amid allegations of...
Somewhere in Rancho Santa Fe, California, there's a golf club that spent decades celebrating Phil Mickelson. His trophies sat in the clubhouse. His name was on the wall. And sometime this spring, that display came down. Quietly. No ceremony. No goodbye. Just gone. The same way Phil Mickelson himself is now gone from that club, gone from 3 of the 4 majors in 2026, and possibly gone from professional golf altogether. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to February. That's when Mickelson posted something that felt, at the time, like an ordinary athlete announcement. He said he and his wife Amy were dealing with a family health matter, and that he'd be stepping away from the start of the LIV Golf season. No details, no timeline, just a request for privacy and a promise to return soon. Nobody questioned it. Golfers miss events for family reasons all the time. But then April came and the Masters came with it, and Mickelson wasn't there. He posted again, this time saying it would be an extended period of time, that Amy and the family were still navigating something personal. Then May arrived and the PGA Championship arrived with it, and once again no Mickelson. His name actually appeared briefly in the field before officials confirmed the withdrawal within hours. By the time the U.S. Open rolled into Shinnecock Hills, a course where Mickelson has some of the most heartbreaking near misses in major championship history, his 5-year exemption from that unforgettable 2021 PGA Championship win had simply expired. The USGA didn't extend him a special invite. He didn't even attempt to qualify. For the first time in a generation, one of the biggest names in golf was watching a major from somewhere other than inside the ropes. And through all of it, the story stayed the same. A family health matter, private, undisclosed, respected by almost everyone covering the sport. Then, in June, everything changed. Golf Digest published a report that hit the golf world like a lightning strike. According to the report, a female employee at the Farms Golf Club, Mickelson's home course for decades, accused him of unwanted, non-consensual physical contact in the clubhouse. The employee reportedly rejected his advances and told her supervisors what happened. The club didn't sit on it. They launched an investigation, tracked Mickelson down mid-round, and told him to leave the property. He didn't finish that round. Soon after, his membership at a club he'd belonged to for years was over. The Farms released a careful, deliberate statement. They never used his name, but they confirmed that after a staff member reported misconduct, they conducted a thorough independent investigation and took decisive action. That kind of language doesn't get chosen by accident. Mickelson's camp responded fast. A spokesperson said any misunderstanding had been cleared up and that Phil remained focused on his family. Then his attorney, Tom Clare, escalated things further, saying there was significant misinformation circulating, that Mickelson had brought on defamation counsel, and that objective video evidence would clear his name. But here's the problem. When Golf Digest asked to see that footage, none was ever provided. The outlet reported there were no cameras covering the area where the incident allegedly took place. Separately, the San Diego County Sheriff's Office confirmed it looked into the matter and said it hadn't found evidence to support a criminal assault charge, while noting it would keep investigating if new information came forward. So, where does that leave things? A denial without evidence to back it, an investigation that ended in a canceled membership, and a sheriff's department that neither confirmed nor closed the door. If that were the whole story, it would already be one of the most dramatic chapters of Mickelson's career. But it isn't the whole story. Weeks later, an investigation from the outlet Skratch, led by veteran golf writer Alan Shipnuck, dropped, and it went much further back than the Farms. Built on nearly 20 sources, the report described a pattern of alleged inappropriate conduct stretching back more than a decade, including sudden, unexplained exits from 3 separate golf clubs since 2021. One allegation centered on a 2015 encounter at a PGA Tour event, where a woman said Mickelson showed her an explicit photo and made advances while her then-husband, a tour pro himself, had stepped away from the table. That same tour pro had already, years earlier, described what happened as something he called unforgivable without ever naming what it was. And then came the decision nobody saw coming. Mickelson withdrew from the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale, the last major he was still eligible for. That means 2026 will go down as the first year in his entire career that Phil Mickelson didn't tee it up at a single major championship. Reports suggest the decision was actually made weeks before it went public, timed right around when Mickelson's team knew the Skratch report was coming. Now zoom out and look at the whole picture. There's a health situation in his family that's never been explained. There's a misconduct allegation that ended a decades-long club membership. There's a wider pattern of alleged behavior going back more than 10 years, now backed by nearly 20 sources. There's a PGA Tour relationship that insiders like Trey Wingo and Billy Horschel have said is beyond repair. There's a LIV Golf project, the one he helped build, the one he gave up his tour status for, reportedly still chasing funding and unsure of its own future past this year. And now, there's an empty spot at every single major in 2026. Phil Mickelson won 6 major championships. He became the oldest man ever to win one at 50 years old, in a moment that will live in golf history no matter what happens next. He gave the sport decades of theater, bold shots, brutal collapses, comebacks nobody else could have pulled off. But right now, in the summer of 2026, the question isn't which tournament he'll show up to next. The question is whether Phil Mickelson's career in professional golf has already quietly ended, and whether the sport he helped shape will even be there if he ever tries to come back. Some legends get a farewell tour. This one might just fade out in silence.